Hey, welcome back everybody. I'm Jade Monkey. We're back here in Rust to talking about the Rust Console Edition for the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, next generations, and everything in between. And today we're talking about custom servers and power surge updates. Are they delayed? Question mark. And again, this is 100% an opinion piece, speculation, but we've had a lot of people ask the question. It's been a long time. We know that power surge is definitely the keystone for a lot of other pieces of content. We're talking modular vehicles. We're talking farming 2.0. We're talking custom servers. So power, electricity needs to be a thing. So after the most recent devlog 10, I've been looking it over and I was like, you know, I kind of got the feeling that there's going to be a delay. And again, we have no indication of this yet, but we have been playing this game for a long time. We've been around for the PC side of Rust, so we kind of know how things are going and what's like ahead of us. Like we played electricity, clearly we're on PC right now. But we know like what's involved with it, especially on the server side. So anyways, the discussion here is about custom servers and power surge. Are they going to be delayed? And for me personally, as I thought this over, I was like, you know, I'm kind of personally setting my expectations a bit further out than what it used to be. Again, I hope I'm 100% wrong, and I hope it's coming a lot sooner. So I kind of whittled it down to two different things. So we have Power Surge is the next big content update. And again, since they kind of slipped it in on us, it's like, I think we're going to get another update in between. So I think we have two possible outcomes here. Number one, Power Surge hits PTB in a month or less. Still longer than we thought it was going to be, but I'll still take that, right? And in that case, then just ignore everything else in this video, and we'll just be having a good time, and hopefully we'll be barreling towards custom servers and power surge hitting main branch. But here's why we're making this, and I want to have this discussion, and feel free to put stuff down in the comments down below, you know, constructive stuff here, right? And then remember, I mean, I'm just like you guys. I'm a player. I don't make the game. I'm on the outside looking in like you are. But, you know, let me know how you've been, what you've been waiting for, what you think these are going to be, if there's going to be a delay. So anyways, if there's going to be a delay, I think it's going to be number 2, 2 months or more. And here's why. So hopefully this all makes sense. I've done a couple takes on this already. Okay, so we just recently got the devlog 10, and this here is what gets me, right? So, you know, the years are cut up into 4s, so like the 4th quarter, so we're in the 4th quarter we're about to be. So like when it says the end of the year, I just assume, you know, next couple weeks at the month at the most, right? I hope it's less than that, but like as you see this and you see some more of this language, I'm like, you know, I got a feeling it's gonna get squeezed past a little bit, right? So they say end of the year we'll see new features added to public testing branch that will eventually be released as part of Power Surge. 100%, I get that. And I think their initial goal was to get this out now-ish on PTB, cook it for 2 to 3 months, and hopefully get it out before the year is done. But I don't think that's the case any longer. And and you heard me say this before in a previous video, but I think maybe, and again, this is my opinion, I think maybe some of these extra events and the Halloween stuff isn't like extra. I think it's being used to buy more time. And again, I really hope I'm wrong, but I think we got some scope creep. Okay, so let's look at this thing here. So as you kind of read through this, actually, let me just kind of jump over here. So if you've been in the corporate world or been around it long enough, you know that soft language often points to things that are hard or they want to smooth something over. And again, my opinion, but I got the feeling they're like, hey, we need to make sure we have fixes. And again, I'm 100% behind that. I'm also 100% behind these events. I think they're great. I think the development team's been doing a good job. But I think whoever's calling the shots higher up definitely didn't or underestimated Power Surge as far as its complexity and stuff. Because let's be honest, the people doing the development totally know. And they're probably waving flags saying, hey, there's not enough runway here. You know what I mean? So I think that's what's going on. And either that or it's like, here's the other contingency, right? Like it's number 1 and they're just like creating some padding just in case it does creep out. And I hope that's the case, right? But I really think it's number 2. I think it's going to be a bit longer. Here's the other reason why, because they're like, hey, let's focus on the fixes. They're talking about the Halloween event, but the scope of this and these special event servers, which again are great for custom servers. These are all great indications that custom servers are barreling along. But we already know there's a dependency with Power Surge and custom servers, but I'm getting way ahead of myself here. But I think these are being used to kind of be like, here's some stuff until we get the other stuff done, right? I got that feeling, right? Because it looks like they're going to focus on this. And if that's the case, I could see this being at least a month. And we already know when a new thing comes out, it usually takes a month after that. So we're looking at least 2 months plus. Then we're close to Christmas at that point. And a lot of people take time off, whether you believe in it or not, or that's a part of your culture. But people take time off, so I was like, I don't know how this is going to get pushed out, right? Again, I hope it's not number 2, man. I hope it's not. But I see it creeping, right? And here's the other reason, too. If we look at the past dev blogs here, this was back in April. They were talking about the next 2 updates on the pipelines are going to be Oceanbound and Power Surge. We already have Oceanbound, which is cargo ship, and Power Surge. But, like, they've crept something in between here, which is going to be the special events and patches and fixes, which are great, but shouldn't that be a part of the main piece, right? And again, I don't blame the developers. I'm not trying to poo-poo on the communication. I'm glad they're at least talking to us, right? But, like, here's the thing. If there's bad news, just give it to us, right? Let us know what's going on, dude. Like, because we have to fill in so many of these gaps. And again, I really hope I'm wrong on this. But, like, as you start to read through this, I was like, yeah, I think something changed between 6 and 10. Because now they're like, hey, we're hoping we start this up by the end of the year. And I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, you're not going to start this up, like, in a week? You know what I mean? Which is fine. I get it. Things change, right? Like, development is not linear by any stretch of the imagination. It's very complex. And again, I don't want to poo-poo on the work that they've already done, because let's be honest, Unity is an absolute hog. That's the platform it's built on, the engine. It is a resource hog. It is on PC. I mean, our load times here are absolute trash, and I have a face melter machine, right? So, like, the fact that it runs on our machines is nothing short of a miracle, and, like, we appreciate that, right? But I know there's a lot of things that need to be fixed. I get that. But I think, like, higher up, they underestimated this. And here, hopefully this all makes sense here. I was thinking about this, and I'm just like, you know, let's have a discussion and see what everybody else thinks, right? So, okay, so rewind. So custom servers need Power Surge to work well before they can come out. And that's almost like, they haven't said that, but like being around for the PC development and stuff and knowing how these servers work, because clearly we're on our own custom server, there's a lot that goes on with the client, but there's also a lot that goes on server side, so they need to make sure that they can have those resources allocated for the price point that they need. And from a business standpoint, this is a revenue stream for them, just like skins are. So there's no reason why they would delay this. And I think what they did is they bit off more than they can chew, because this was announced right when the game came out, right? Power Surge was supposed to be the next update, and custom servers. And I get it. A lot happened since then. But here's the reason why they pushed Power Surge so quickly, because I was surprised by that, because it's so complex. I was like, wow, they're going to bring electricity right away, right on. But it's because they need that to have custom servers work, and because it was such a big scope creep, because whoever estimated that, and it wasn't a developer, it was definitely a suit somewhere, right? They overestimated or underestimated it, and it's been a big deal. It's almost been a year and a half, right? And again, we get it. Lots of stuff has happened, but like, I think that's why they're like, they really want to push this, but they don't understand the people that are calling the shots, like how much is involved with this. The developers 100% do. Those are the people that are boots on the ground. But if you're like, commanding guy is telling you to, you know, go in there, and you're like, hey man, that's going to break, or we don't have enough time. They're like, hey, just go in there. It's like, what do? You know what I mean? You keep blowing your timelines. All right, so hopefully this makes sense too. So yeah, it's been, what was this, back in April, and now we're here. We're going into October, and it just looks like all these extra pieces are kind of to buy some time. And I'm just like, hey man, I think this is a thing. So anyway, so the custom servers definitely need Power Surge to work well. So, and as we said before, it brings in potentially modular vehicles, farming 2.0, the T's, all that stuff. Like, they need power to work, and custom servers. So this thing needs to happen quickly. So it's like, look, man, it's going to stop the turret spawns. We're going to have new ways to do turrets, different gameplay loops. That's great, but it's also dependent on solo duo servers, and a lot of people have stopped playing because they want solo duo servers. They're sick as Zergs. I get it. A lot of people are waiting for PvE servers or 2x servers or whatever else, and I get that too, because a lot of people have professional careers, and or they're going to school, or they're just or they're trying to get laid. You know what I mean? Like, it's a ton of different things. So I get it, and a lot of people have been saying in the comments like, hey man, I'm stopping until we can do solo duo servers. Well, again, until this Power Surge hits, none of that can happen. So that's why I'm kind of pushing for, like, look, do what you got to do. Get these custom or these fixes out, this quality of life stuff that you're talking about. I get it. Like, they need to be fixed. But, like, let's get it to freaking PTB. Let's get Power Surge to PTB. I fully expect this to be on PTB for 2 to 3 months. This is a very complex update, both on the client and on the server side. So, like, I fully expect it. And I expect it to break maybe in the first week or so, or maybe in the first month. Like, it's just, they're just chasing it. But that's what PTB is for. It's literally, if you want the real experience, go back to main branch. Like, we just need this to start moving forward. We'll break it, we'll test it, we'll make it better, right? just by banging on it. You know, I mean, obviously the developers will make it better, but like we'll break it. You know what I mean? And that's good, and that's what PTB should be used for. So it's just like, you know, if we don't get it at least in PTB, we're still at a standstill for solos, PvE servers, 2x servers, and all that stuff, right? So it's like, you know, let's just keep going. And that's the thing. Like, I don't want to poo-poo on the progress they've made. Again, the developers are working really hard. I think it's the people that are calling the shots that are making this very, very difficult. But I know the developers take the brunt of it for sure. But like, I think I just struck out for a second. I was like, we're going up. Oh, yeah. So, and again, I don't want this to like deter them. And I love the communication that we're at least getting, because we didn't get that in the first year for sure, at least not enough of it. And I'm glad that we got something now, but it's like, hey, if there's bad news, just tell us, man, and we'll adjust our expectations. But like, if we're just kind of led on, like, I kind of have a feeling they kind of knew this pretty close to April, right? Because they snuck in Fishing Village on us. And I was like, where's that coming from, right? Like, where are the horses? But like, it makes sense. Like, if they're trying to make another revenue stream, they need Power Surge to come out. So they put horses on hold and everything else, and they need to make sure Power Surge works. But like, I don't think it was ready, and that's why they stuck in Fishing Villages. That's why they put out Oceanbound, because they were trying to buy more time. Like, I get it. Oceanbound was a requested feature, but let's be honest. How many people are running that? Well, you know what I mean? 50% of the population? I think not. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, like, I get it. Like, you need more time. It's complex, but let's... If it's bad news, just tell us, right? So we can be like, okay, I'm going to set my expectations out here, because I've been pining over this thing since it came out. It's almost been a year and a half. I want Power Surge so freaking bad. I want to be able to take my boat into my base so I'm getting chased by scrubs or even freaking chads, right? And just go in there and be like, hey, I'm driving up in the boat, and open my freaking garage door, right? And I was like, please tell me I didn't break this. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like, I want the tourists to be more balanced. I think it's going to be better for solos and small groups. It's such a big deal. And the bigger point is, Power Surge is going to bring us custom servers, and a lot of people really want that. We're going to be building our own custom servers and doing events and stuff. So we're very excited for it. So I think, and again, not to be a negative Nancy, but to take the positive out of this, I think they're doing good work. I think we need communication, good or bad. That needs to continue. And look, if it got pushed out, let us know. Because if we have to sit here and simmer for another 2 to 3 months over all of this stuff, I'm going to be a little salty. You know what I mean? And I won't be salty. I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to be bad news. I'm like, oh, man, that sucks. But at least I won't be as salty if you give me a heads up, right? At least I can set my expectations. Again, I hope I'm 100% wrong on this. I hope it's option number 1, and we get all these events. And then in that case, good job, pat on the back. Keep doing what you guys are doing. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm sitting with it. I wanted to run it past everybody. Again, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Again, try to be constructive with each other, you know. Like, I know we're all a little frustrated with things, but, you know, like, I love this game. I always have. I'm excited for Rust Console Edition. You know, we played all the time. So, like, I want good things for this. And, like, if it is a delay, I think we just want to know, right? Right. So, again, if you're playing as a solo or duo and you're getting absolutely melted on Cargo Ship, I've got a cargo ship guide. I'll go ahead and throw it up on the end screen now. Right with strategies. That includes different ways to board the ship outside of the ladders, and to help you if you're a solo or even a small group. So go ahead and check it out. It's got some juicy, juicy loot. All right, we'll see you guys in the next one. Love you. Bye.